Good evening. This is David Lynn, your Prepper Principal. It is Tuesday, December the 19th, 2023, 7 p.m., and this is Coffee Talk number 108 Livestream. I'm having a bottle of water with a packet of lemonade, cold water, packet of lemonade. Good stuff. Julianne West, how are you doing, young lady? Thank you for coming in. How's the weather over in Wales? I always hear talk about how it's always foggy. Holly Ivans, how are you doing? A reminder, Holly, I need you to email me your mailing address again. I misplaced it. I'll record it in my phone this next time. But I need you to do that if you want Send Elf to send you something. Nita's Talk Much. Hey, Nita on her backup channel. And Joshua Humphrey, how's it going? Well, I got all these folks in here, and Julie is the only one that's giving me any love. Please leave a like. It will help my channel. Thank you. 4 in the house, 2 likes. I'm drinking lemonade. Take a packet of great value lemonade. You get 10 sticks for $2.50. No, $2.25. 10 sticks for $2.25. Comes out to just about 25 cents a packet. A bottle of water. It's probably 15 cents, about 40 cents. And good stuff. Well, just write down on a piece of paper what the email address is and key it in, and it should pull it up. Yeah, I'm an analog person living in a digital world. You remember the old television sets? They were so heavy. you'd have like a 20-inch screen and you thought you were blessed because that was the biggest thing you've ever seen. That's my youth. And it's funny, but I had 2 graduate degrees before the internet came out. Both of my graduate degrees. I got my last graduate degree in '95, and it's I tell you, yeah, when I was a kid, many moons ago, and I don't know, um, but I grew up on Saturday morning cartoons. We had ABC, NBC, CBS, and then later on we had PBS, which was um, public broadcasting, and then we got they started coming out with cable channels, and then we got Turner Broadcasting, which CNN, and back then CNN was real middle of the road. You'd get conservative, you'd get left wing, right wing, the middle. I used to love watching a show called Crossfire, and it was a political show that come on for about an hour in the evening, and it'd have a guy from the right, a guy from the left, and then they'd invite a guest in, or a couple of guests, and then they would talk about whatever was going on during the day, and you'd get the perspectives. The Bud Files. Welcome. I'm still showing only 2 likes. When you get a chance, those of you who are here, if you have not done so, please leave me a like. You still here, Julie? Julie Ann West, Simru, Wales, the UK. Nita's Talk Much. 3 in the house and 3 likes. So I apologize, 4 in the house, 4 likes. I apologize. Last night, I was probably about 45 minutes into my live stream, and then for some reason, yeah, I remember that. Verna, thank you for coming in. Vay's Place. Yeah, I got some folks that come in here just about every time I live stream, and they never leave me a like. They'll come in, they'll say hi a couple of times, and then they move on about their business, but they don't leave me a like. And I just wish they'd learn to leave me a like. Some people are very tight. Yeah, I know you did. You were the first one in, and the like, your number 1, and the like came in at the same time. I know you were. I know you did, Julie. The folks over in the UK, to a large extent, have better manners than a lot of their counterparts over here in the colonies, if you want to call us the colonies. But for whatever reason, it started spinning, and it kept saying that no signal. But I kept on getting the it would freeze up. But the stream, the traffic, the comments continued. So I don't think the comments stopped, but I think the visual froze up, and I do not know why that happened. Evelyn's Official, thank you for coming in. And Chief, the BC Gaming Dispatcher. How are y'all doing? So I'm still a few short of 1500. And when I get to 1500, it will trigger a 1500 subscriber giveaway. If you want to see some of the stuff I put in my giveaway boxes, I encourage you to look at one of my subscriber giveaway videos. And to qualify, I indicate what the qualifications are in the description of all my normal videos. So please leave me a like and a supportive comment on my last 5 videos prior to me hitting 1500. Now, I may not release any more videos before hitting 1500. I may wake up in the morning, I'm at 1500. Or I may release 1 or 2 more. Now that I'm off on vacation for, Christmas, I'm able to do stuff on my channel that I don't normally have time to do. Little Lone Prepper, thank you for coming in. And I'm thinking I will release a couple of more, or I'll do a couple of more videos on goodie boxes that I'm prepping for people. I did one for Little Lone Prepper, and I did one for Guru Dave and Echo Carter. And I released both of those. As a matter of fact, one of them I did as a premiere, and one I just released. And I'm planning on doing one probably for Idaho Garden Girl Stephanie, who I don't think she's come in yet. A lot of times she catches the replay. And I have a mind to do one for Holly Ivins if I get her mailing address, which I apologize, I seem to have misplaced it. I didn't get it recorded, I guess, in my phone. I can't find. I possibly could look and find it if I spent some time, but it'd just be easiest to just send it to me. And then the other thing is, Holly, if you're having difficulty, if there's anybody else in here that you communicate with, or you talk on the phone with, or anything, or you text with, get them to text me your contact information, or get them to email me your contact information, your mailing address. If you can't, if you're having difficulty with your stuff right now. Bus stop, my friend Bruno. Yeah, I saw that last one you sent me. I didn't comment on it, but yeah, I saw that one. The girl with the sausage on a stick that transitioned into showing, some food. Yeah, I saw that one. Stop tapping the pen. I'm sorry, I guess that's a nervous habit. Bus stop. I have nervous habits galore. At least I don't bite my nails. I don't bite my nails. I try to keep them filed. I don't like them to get real long. I keep them filed. 8 in the house, 8 likes. So, my theme for this round of goodie boxes that I'm giving out to people is fire, being able to make heat. So I'm putting a couple of different camp stoves. Here's one of them. This will go in it. and it uses camp heat or sterno, and I'll put a 2-pack of sterno in it. This will burn for about 4.5 hours between the two of them, and it's clean, it's green. You can use it indoors. It's not going to hurt you, or it's not going to. And you can blow it out and restart it until you get it all used up. It'll run a long time. It takes about 15 minutes to boil water with that once you get going. I'm going to the doctor's appointment to get better. I'm sorry. I have to go give blood tomorrow. After Christmas, I think on the 29th, I've got a colonoscopy. They're going to offend my my body with one of those camera things, the scope, the camera, and all that, and having a colonoscopy. It'll be the first one I've had. And yeah, I know I should have had one 10 years ago, and I didn't. But it is what it is. Die Bullfrog 79, Uncle Al. And my wife had one recently. She said, "Oh, you had fun when I had mine. You made comments and you thought it was funny." And yeah, I was joking with my wife about it. I've had friends that had those things, and my wife, they snipped one polyp, sent it off to test it, and it was benign. And then they said she's got to come back in a couple of years. So, but 8 likes, 7 in the house. If you're just coming in, please leave me a like to support the channel. Also, please look at the last 5 videos that I've released. They're not that long. The 2 long ones are like, one of them 7 minutes, the other one's 10 minutes, and they're basically showing boxes and such that I'm giving away, to individuals. So most of the ones I've been releasing lately have been these little short things that I really don't like releasing shorts. But the last short I released has about 400 and some odd views. I released it a couple of days ago, and it's got 400 and some odd views. And it basically showed, I did a little short one of me opening one of my boxes from Amazon using Prime, and it was a huge box, and then it had a small box inside of it, which was basically 12 7-stick packs of Nescafe dark roast coffee, which I like to drink. I mean, I like the medium roast. I can buy the medium roast over at Walmart. It's very tasty, but I really like the dark roast. The dark roast is really good. It's a little bit stronger, and I'll put like 10 ounces of water in it, and then I've been using a couple of International Delight Irish creams. And it is very, I drink 4 or 5 cups of coffee a day. KP Heathen, thank you for coming in. Hopefully things are going well in Louisiana. I've been looking at the news and things that are happening. Things are trying to get passed. Right now, they're trying to pass like $110 billion package for Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan, and the border to build border wall. Now, there was something like 300 or 400 miles of border wall that was funded, that they had been collecting materials for, and they were in the process of putting up. They had contracts and everything when the present administration took office, and the first thing they did was they shut it down. And then they've been selling the components 5 cents on the dollar. Now they got really pissed off. Excuse my language for saying pissed off, but the administration got really pissed off because Texas started buying some of the components to go ahead and start installing them and putting them up. Oh, they couldn't have that happen. Oh, they got really upset about that, you know, because they want a wide open border. And they're trying to change the demographics. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to change the demographics. They want to bring in as many so-called minorities as they can, because their hopes are that they'll be very liberal, that they'll support the government because they get freebies, and therefore they will become a majority. That party will become a permanent majority, and they can basically, go over to their socialism and just run things, and it'll be the super rich and the super poor, and the middle class will be screwed, you know. Uncle Al, I have never voted for one of them. I never have. I was a teenager when Jimmy Carter got elected, and at that time I didn't know any better. And my father liked the fact that he was from his home state of Georgia, because my father's people are from Georgia, and he was very happy about that. And then he died. My father died in '77, so he didn't get to witness how bad it was. But Jimmy Carter created an awful lot of conservatives. A lot of people left the Democratic Party based on the crap that he did and how bad he hurt the United States. Now, in my opinion, he's probably been the best ex-president we've ever had. He's done a lot of positive things with Habitat for Humanity. He sponsored a lot of stuff. He's been he's been a very moral, he and his wife, a very moral ex-president. He's been an outstanding ex-president. He didn't have the scandals, the womanizing, or any of the stuff that, some of the other administrations have had. His big scandal was he had a brother that was a Bubba and did all sorts of stupid stuff and got it, embarrassed him, And Plain Old Chuck, thank you for coming in, Plain Old Chuck. Well, looks like I had a few people abandon me. Maybe they didn't like what I was talking about. But so getting back to prepping, it is important that you're able to boil water. So as I said, these are about $12. A lot of the Walmarts will sell them. If not, you can get them online. I got these from Amazon. And you set it up. They're not heavy. They're easy to put in a backpack or whatever. You put a can of Sturdo in with it, and you can boil water. Now, likewise, one of the other things I've been putting in the packs that I'm giving out, that I'm giving away, the goodie boxes and such, this is another stove, and it uses tabs. It comes with 24 tabs, and I'm putting one of these in the box, as well as a package of extras. This is about $5.50, and this was about less than $11. So if you think about the packs that I'm putting together for people, I'm putting together. It's costing me a little bit, and then it's probably going to cost me $20 to send it. And I guess if you're using a flat sterno, yeah, you could put a sterno in here. You could put a sterno in it. But it's made for tabs. It comes with tabs. And then you can either, if you could be using a pot, so if not, and you're just using like a cup size, you tilt it, and this will allow you to put a cup up on it. I've been listening to some of the predictions based upon what's going on, and right now the way the polls are, um, the president administration is in trouble. They're going to lose the Senate. Um, Mike Crusher reviews. Mike is a real good guy. He puts out some real good reviews, rations and food, freeze-dried food. I really enjoy, and I watch everything he puts out. Sometimes I get behind, but every week or two he'll put out something, and I really enjoy him. He put out a Polish ration review, very good. He did a Canadian IMP recently, another good one. The Canadian rations, I think, are basically a step up from the U.S. military rations. And the reason I say that is that the Canadian military is not that big. So when they make rations, they don't make near as many of them as we would, because we have to supply a lot more forces than the Canadians. Our military is probably 20 some odd times, 25, 30 times the size as far as manpower of the Canadian military. And we have to worry about, one, I think theirs are probably a little bit more expensive than ours because of what the components they put in them. But then they don't make near as many of them. Whereas, we make a lot more. Now, right now, we're producing, and there are like three main companies that produce rations. Warnick, Ameriqual, and Sapaco. I will certainly say that of all the various Western countries, our flameless ration heaters are the worst. Half the time they don't work. So you use alternate means, like normally, like for your main retort pouch, perhaps side, or you got a bread or whatever. You can boil them, put them in a pot of water, heat the water, you boil them. And Mr. Whistle, thank you for coming in. I don't think Uncle Al hates America. I think he hates what America's becoming, the way things are going. Uh, I just see where somebody sent me an address, said Holly. Um, America has become, based upon our history and what we've been through and our expansion and our melting pot in times past, yes, since World War II, we have become the greatest country in the world. We basically saved the world during World War II. We helped save the world in World War One, and then because of the stupidity of the treaty that was basically forced on the Germans, because the French wanted to screw Germany because of the war, and they basically broke the German economy. And because of the way Germany was treated after World War One, that made it possible for the Nazis to come in and do what they did in World War II. And I can probably, no, nobody would come to save us because they're not capable of it. Now, in a conflict, we have allies. The Commonwealth is our biggest ally. The UK, um, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the Commonwealth. Um, those are our strongest allies. Japan, since World War II, and because of the threats of communism and such, they've become a strong ally. Taiwan has become a strong ally. The Philippines are becoming a strong ally. They were, and then they went away, sort of, and now they're back because of the threats against them. But those are strong allies. In the Middle East, Israel is our number one, or is our strongest ally. They're really the only democracy over there. And whether you support or don't support or whatever, it's in their interest to be an ally. And they've done some things to hurt us. I mean, they've hit us. They've hit us on a couple of occasions. Our assets, and but you know we depend on them, and they're a bastion over in the Middle East, that part of the world. Uh, America became great because of the greatest generation. The people who fought World War II, who lived through the Depression, who came out of the war, and basically we were the manufacturer of the world. We were the strength of the world. We basically were the bastion against communism. And I will tell you, General Patton, who was probably the best military commander we had in the European theater, um, he wanted to deal with the Russians right after the Germans surrendered. He knew what we were dealing with. And while we were over there in mass, The Russians were pretty well worn out. They had to put up a fight, but he wanted to deal with them after basically um, we defeated Germany. And then Japan fell, and we could have very easily shifted over. You know, we had the strongest Air Force by far, we had the strongest Navy by far. Um, we had artillery, tanks. The Russians probably had a few more troops than we did, but militarily, we could have dealt with them. And he wanted to, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why he had his accident. I think that was they wanted to get rid of him. I just finished a bottle of cold water with a packet of lemonade, great value lemonade, 10 sticks for $2.25. And oh, somebody else just snuck in on me. Got Mike Rise, and I got Kaka, Tai, Cauca. I'm horrible with pronunciation. I apologize. I'm horrible with pronunciation with some. But welcome. Thank you for coming in. How you doing, Mike Rise? How's that family of yours? My best to your missus. God bless your children. Mike, I have been watching the screen. I've been talking. If I had a wingman or a wing lady, I could concentrate more. Oh, you're 6'6"? I'm 6'3", so I'd be looking up at you, son. Yeah, liquid flavor enhancer. Well, yeah, liquid, liquid would do a better job. Well, I mean, like I use sticks, like coffee sticks. Uh, you gotta stir it up real good. You want to gotta stir it up real good. And I use pods. Like right now, I every couple of days I'll drink a hot cocoa, and I use a pod, and it's a pumpkin spice. I bought like 3 boxes of it, and cocoa. Yeah, I like the sweet tea too. I like the sweet tea. Um, I drink a lot of coffee. Now in the evening, I usually don't. This late, I usually don't drink coffee, but I drink coffee. And then the evening, a lot of times I'll have a lemonade or I'll have a tea. You know, sometimes I'll drink a hot herbal tea in the evening, uh, non-caffeinated herbal tea, and put a little honey in it. You're 5'12". My father was 5'12". My father was 6 foot tall. Um, both of his younger brothers were taller than him. My uncle Howard's about 6'5". He's the baby of the family. Of 9 kids, he was the baby. My father was 17 years younger than his little brother. And Uncle Howard's 92 right now. He's the only one still alive. He's 92 years old. He'll be 93 in July. Well, the average height of a male is anywhere from 5'8" to 5'10", depending on where you're at. Nordic people tend to be a little taller. People of Nordic ancestry. And women tend to be about 5'4", Western women. My wife is 4'9". She's one of the taller. She's the baby of her family. She's one of the taller sisters. I mean, they average 4'5", 4'6", and she's 4'9", and she's got a couple of sisters that are a little bit taller than her, but she's, you know, her brothers are like 5'6". So I stand next to them and it's like I'm looking down, like, you know, since this is a full-grown person, they're small people. Hispanic people tend to be, a lot smaller than Anglos. Well, GD, Mike, 6 foot tall. That's a big woman. You're 5'1". My daughter's 5 foot. She claims she's 5'1". She's 5 feet. Oh, I'm like 5'1.5". I tell her she's not short because she's 5 foot tall. Now her mother's short. My daughter will stand next to her mother, who's 4'9", and she looks like she towers over her, and it's just 3 inches. 3 inches is like, maybe this, not that much, and she towers over her. Well, I would not want to piss her off. There's a lady at work who's about my height. She's supposed to be 6'2", black lady. And I'd swear I'm shrinking because I guess she's wearing heels or whatever, but I stand up next to her. We're looking at each other. It's like I'm looking up a little bit at her. And she's 6'2". It's a big women scare me. That's a big woman. WD Glock and Roll, how's it going? Thanks for coming in. So, those people who came in last night, I did a couple of community wall posts yesterday evening, and I basically posted up, and I did an apology about what happened. And I posted up the channels. There were 20 channels at the time. I posted up about 20 channels that came in last night that identified themselves. Now, there was actually probably 40 some odd, 45 that were in the live stream, but only 20 left comments. So if you're one of the people who left comments, I linked you on my community wall. And I'll try to do the same thing tomorrow. So far, I've had 18 channels come in this evening that have identified themselves. And then I have another handful of people who overnight or after this is over will come and drop a comment or leave a comment. I've got a couple that'll do a full replay, give me the watch time so I get at least an hour watch time. I need about 75 watch hours, which I'm certainly going to get. I'm not worried about getting the watch hours, but in the next few days I'll get my 75 watch hours. Then I can contact YouTube and do their paperwork and apply for, see what that monetization has in store. But Holly, you take care. God bless. So, as I was saying before, you need to be able to have clean water. You need a means to purify water or to treat water. You don't know. I mean, if the tap stop running, even if it's rainwater, you still got to treat it. You know, you get water out of a running stream or whatever, you still got to treat it. You don't want to get water from a swimming pool. You know, you don't want to you don't want to kill your kidneys. And in times past, people didn't live to be near as old as they do today because of disease, eating bad food, drinking bad water, dysentery, typhoid, cholera, malaria, a lot of smallpox, a lot of diseases. You know, you got to watch out for that stuff. Hey, take care, bus stop. Appreciate you. So, you need to get the water under control. You need to be able to boil water. Those gift boxes that I'm sending out have a couple of means to boil water. You need to be able to purify water. You know, you can have filtration systems. I've got several packs of this, and this is a potable aqua chlorine dioxide water treatment liquid. It's pills, kills odor causing bacteria and enhances the taste of stored potable water. Easy to use, no aftertaste, treats up to 60 gallons. It's got a part A and a part B, and you use a pill, which is the part A, and then you let it sit for about 30 minutes, and then you put the part B in, and you let it sit for about 30 minutes. And I'd also have boiled the water, or I'd boil it, and it's supposed to treat. It's supposed to treat 60 gallons. Smashing Machine, good night, son. God bless you. My best to your missus and your children. So, you know, we all live by a certain code of conduct that's acceptable, societal norms, which are changing. You need to treat people the way you want to be treated, be respectful, show you have good home training, upbringing. It's a way to honor your parents. You know, the golden rule, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. And you need to be quick to say excuse me. You know, accidents happen. Be quick to say excuse me. You know, if you sneeze or cough, turn your head, you know, covered. Excuse me. Somebody sneezes, you should say bless you. The response would be thank you. You need to have courtesy. And this is the stuff that we tell kids all the time, training them. And a lot of the people growing up today, they don't have both of their parents. They may have a single mom, they may have a single dad, more likely a single mom than a single dad. They may be raised by a grandparent, they may be in foster care. Um, you don't know. But we have to train the generations to come, and they have to pay their dues. Right now, they need to pay their dues to the rest of us. Down the road, when they're older, people will pay their dues to them. And take care, Mike Crusher. So be quick to say please and thank you. Excuse me. When you speak to somebody older and in authority, say yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Sign of courtesy, respect. Um, thank first responders. Thank people who are veterans in the military for their service. People have given their life. People have been injured and become disabled. A lot of people who served have wound up dying of cancer 20, 30 years later because of chemicals and such they were um, around. Back in the day, when they were doing nuclear testing, they didn't know what was going on, they didn't know what they were doing. A lot of people got exposed to high radiation doses and subsequently years later developed cancer, died of cancer. Horrible. Um, Always remember to be cognizant. Pay attention where you're at, what's going on around you. I think they use the term mom over in, I think they use mom over there, don't they? In the UK. Hi, aunties. Hi, uncle. Okay. In Hispanic society, it's Tio and Tia. Like, I've had kids call me Tio Lynn, Uncle Lynn. You know, Hispanic kids, Tio Lynn. It's a sign of respect. Um, like Padrino, Madrina, Godfather, Godmother. Things are different all over. Uh, like now they say, well, they were saying bro, and now they say brah, bruh. And I mean, women will say it to men, they'll say it to each other, brah. Uh, Mum, you call them mum. Yeah, mum. Some of the words and some of the spellings. I went to Catholic school, and we had a bunch of Irish nuns and priests, and they were raised in the UK, and they've got their own spelling system. So color, instead of saying COLOR, it's COLOUR. And then they would correct me for using US spelling. are spelling and pronunciation. And I don't do it near as much as I used to, but I used to say bloody. Bloody this and bloody that. You know. I still say ARSE instead of ASS. The Brits will say ARSE, you know, and I still do that. And I know a little bit of German, you know. Instead of saying SHIT, I'll say the German pronunciation. And my Spanish is not what it needs to be. My father spoke excellent Spanish. My mother's father spoke excellent Spanish. He could read and write Spanish. He had a degree in business and Spanish from St. Edward's in Austin. Fluent people. Some of the family went to Notre Dame. They were big Catholics, so Notre Dame, big Catholic. Bad body, not so fit. Thank you for coming in. Young man is in good shape, makes me feel out of shape. So I don't know why he calls his channel. Maybe when he started, he was a bad body, not so fit, but he's in good shape now. Son, you got it going. And well, God bless you. Yeah, I've been sick. You go to work with kids. I went back into education, go to work with kids. Dag nabbit, you catch everything they have. I had one kid, he got sick and he had to go to the emergency room and he was out for several days. He came back too soon. He got everybody, including me, sick. The following week, everybody's sick with whatever the crap he had. I've been sick for like 3 weeks. Now my stopped up again. Dag nabbit. Before I came back to work, I didn't get sick. Yeah. One time my daughter brought something in because she works with kids. She's a case manager, does counseling, and well, you are a smart lady. You speak all those languages. I know a little German because of the ancestry, not that much, but a little German, and a lot of Spanish. You know, I took Latin and I took Spanish, and all the southern, all the Romance languages are descended from Latin, which was the language of the Roman Empire at that time. So French, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, Romanian. Those are all Romance languages. If you can speak Italian, Spanish, or Portuguese, you can get by with any of those languages. If you speak one of them good, you can get by with the others because they're not that different. But the French, yeah, the French is way out there, you know. And there aren't that many people who speak Welsh. There are people that speak Welsh, but like Gaelic, there aren't that many people who speak Gaelic, which was the Irish language. But there are some, and they're trying to bring it back. They're trying to bring it back. And Hindi, ooh, Lord have mercy. I mean, there are probably a billion people who speak that language, but no, I wouldn't. Nope, 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 nope. No, 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 no. Don't think so. Uh, I would just love to be able to be really fluent. I've got a good vocabulary in Spanish, and I've got a large, as far as multi-syllable words, big words, I've got a real good better than a lot of people who speak, conversational Spanish. But I'm not super fluent, and I can't roll my R's. My pronunciation's not. I didn't really grow up little speaking it. I learned it when I got older, studied it when I got older. And when you're small, when you're young, you can pick up 5, 6 languages. Like, over in Europe, most of the people over there can speak at least 3, your native language and a couple of others. Most of the people, English will be like a second language to them because it's like a lingua franca, like Spanish is a lingua franca. You know, if you can speak English and you can speak Spanish, most places around the world you can get by. You know, and there are other languages that would be good to know, but they're not, well, like a universal language. There's probably 100 million people who speak German. It'd be nice if I could speak my ancestral language, but it's not a priority for me, and I probably never will. I'm already 61 years old. I'll never learn German. There's some words. I cuss in German quite well. I mean, there's some words, I know a few phrases, but I don't, you know. My mother knew a lot of German, and her mother and grandmother spoke German. The great grandmother. I mean, that side of the family. Yes, Spanish used to be Latin. Latin was the root language. And then you're basically speaking a vulgar Latin, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, French, Romanian. Those are descended from Latin. Learning Hindi. Well, Julie, if you don't mind my asking, you probably got some ancestry from the subcontinent, don't you? From over there? Part of your ancestry is probably from the subcontinent. I mean, you sound you sound British, but I mean, I think you probably got some ancestry from over there. Um, anyway, please remember the Boy Scout motto is to be prepared. Everybody, you need to be prepared. Life is good, but it is what it is. Um, if you have not, please leave me a like and a supportive comment. Last 5 videos that I've dropped. I may drop 1 or 2 more before I get there, and then hopefully you'll be, and I think it'll be less than 30 people. So you got 1 shot in 30, which is pretty good odds. And then I try to not get somebody who've won before. I try to spread it around. But, I support those who support me. And there are people who've been with me for a long time, and they've never won. I mean, they try and they've never won. But I give out stuff. I send stuff out. I'm one of the elves. So I will plan on being back tomorrow. That's good to be multicultural. I will plan on being back tomorrow at 7 p.m. for another edition of Coffee Talk. Remember to get a list, start shopping it, get things that you need, holes in your preps. We'll talk more about it. And everybody, please have a blessed day. I will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. for another edition of Coffee Talk. I'll also try to post the people in here that are here tonight. I'll try to post y'all on my community wall. So check those out. Everybody have a nice evening. I'm going to have my supper now. Blessings.